Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we've got a nice little snowy day today.
Yes.
Got some cold air coming in, and what
Yep.
is this, the third week of February?
Yep.
So
And-
it's bound to happen, and I'm just glad that Easter's late this year.
Yeah, I'm glad it's
don't
late too.
I
I
don't
like a late Easter.
I don't like Easter in March.
I don't either. It's too cold.
too cold.
Too cold, yeah.
How many little Easter dresses did you wear that you were like frozen
Freezing.
in? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm all for having it in April.
Well, we like to do a big thing outside because Easter's probably my favorite.
I know.
I love Easter. I love that time of year, and
You love Easter. I love Christmas.
I love Easter. You love the birth of Jesus. I love the resurrection.
I love the resurrection too. I just don't love the holiday as much. I love what it means. I just don't love.
Well, see, and I love the food of Easter
Everything
because I
else.
love all those salads, those cold
Yeah.
salads. And stuff. I wonder, isn't that funny how you eat different things at
Different holidays.
I'm bored with food right now, though.
Are you?
Yeah, it's just you just feel like you make the same stuff over and over.
Oh, right.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. We've been trying some new stuff at our house, and it's good. Tonight we're doing we've had a chicken marinating all night in Caesar dressing. So we're making this like Caesar chicken dish tonight.
Oh, that'd be good.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go home and make probably 25, 30 pounds of sloppy Joe meat for the murder mystery dinner.
Right, that's coming up. We might as well talk about that because
Yeah.
this is going to air on Friday, and our event is on Saturday.
Yeah, we
So
are.
if you're not doing anything tomorrow, we're talking about February the 22nd of 2025. There is an event at Nostalgia Theater, and it is called Celebrity.
Celebrity celebrations.
Celebrations, yeah. I knew I was going to say it wrong. Celebrity celebrations. It's a murder mystery dinner. If you've never been to one of our murder mystery dinners, then
They're
you are
fun.
missing out because they are so super fun. So there will be live actors there that will be giving you clues and talking about a murder. And this one's celebrity, so you might see Elvis, you might see Marilyn Monroe. I'm not going to give them all away, but
Yep.
they might be there. And then they're going to be visiting your table. And then you eat your dinner and you try to figure out all of the clues that you've been given and try to figure out who did it.
Yep.
Who
Yep.
done it?
Yeah, and for
Who done
food,
it? I love a good who done it.
The food is we're just doing. It's going to be sloppy joes, really good sloppy joes, mac and cheese, baked beans, coleslaw, cookies, brownies, tea, lemonade, all for $25 a person. Pretty, and then you get your entertainment on top
and
of that.
you got the entertainment. Yeah.
That's a pretty good spread for that.
Yes.
It's a fundraiser. Anytime you come and if you come into the theater and you're literally just supporting the renovation of the
Right.
theater, you're keeping our doors open basically.
Exactly.
Anytime you do that. So.
But this event is age 21 and up because we will be serving alcohol.
yes, we
so
do have
there
alcohol
are
there.
beer, wine, and mixers available at our bar, which a lot of people don't know that we have a bar.
Yeah, we do.
So we
We
have
have-
a limited liquor license for certain events. So we can, we run a little bar when we're having an event. And so come have a good time.
Oh yeah, but it's fun. I love a murder mystery anyway. They're fun. They're a lot of fun. We've been doing them for a long time too. I think this is the only second one we've done at the theater. I think right off the bat, we first got the theater. We did the vampire murder mystery.
That one was super fun. I
That
loved
was
that
fun.
one.
But now it's a totally different ballgame because it's beautiful inside the building.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Yep.
Still just putting along, trying to get getting a grant, and still not happening. And we're just going to go along with it. And
That's right.
We've got some things coming up at the theater and then we have I don't know the exact dates, but we did plan a daddy daughter dance. We've got the nostalgia show set for April 4th and 5th. It's a little earlier than normal because with Easter being late, it kind of took that date out. And then May, we used to do shows in May, but May's just
May's too busy for shows.
It's just too busy for
so
shows.
now that we can set our own schedule and we're not having the shows at the high school, we choose April over May.
We choose April over May, and I really like that third weekend. But it's Easter, and then like I said, so we just did the first one, get it done. Plus, it's just a lot of fun, and it's going to be it's a Western. Finally got it cast, and so it's a Western. We got
a lot of new faces going to be in our play this year.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
It is
I love
gonna
a
be
Western.
lot of fun. Oh, do you? Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I love
you're
Western.
gonna have to help me with some of the music.
I would be more than happy to help you.
I don't
Country
listen
music.
to a lot of country music. I
know
know.
you're Aretha.
I'm an Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Barbra Streisand.
I'm Loretta Lynn, Reba McEntire,
yeah,
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
Tanya Tucker.
Yeah, and I want to go back. Oh, I love my Aunt Joanne loves Tanya Tucker. I want to go back. I want to go back old. But Jim was like pulling up some Gene Autry.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. And I'd like to put Rhinestone Cowboy in it.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah, have Matt Lovett sing it. 'Cause
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, so I do know a little bit, little Dolly Parton, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking for that. We got a lot coming up on our plate. This week is our last free week. And then we'll go into practices for that. But this weekend, I'm concentrating on the murder mystery dinner because it's going to be a good time.
And the other thing about the theater is it is available for rent for events. So now's the time. If you need a graduation party, like now's the time to book that.
Yeah, because I've already had a couple inquiries.
Yeah, because everything in Flora fills up fast for those graduation parties in May. So if you want to book a time for that, you can find us on Facebook, Nostalgia Theater in Flora. Give us a shout out. And also weddings. I mean, the summer's going to fill up quick.
Yep, it is going to fill up quick. And yeah, we had a couple weddings last year. They were absolutely beautiful. I still don't. I am a terrible picture taker. I don't see pictures. So I'm still need to get a hold of the two brides and get the pictures of that and start promoting the wedding venue of the theater because it holds a lot. We have a beautiful stage. The balcony's open. It's a nice location, and it's not going to cost you $50,000. Some of those venues are quite pricey. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but pretty interesting.
Yep,
got a lot going on.
That's what's going on with the theater.
I'm ready for spring.
I know you are. I'm enjoying this winter. I mean, this is the kind of winter I love. Makes me happy.
Once I start knocking on the end of February, though, I'm like, because we always. I mean, it snowed in March. Some of our biggest snows have been in March.
Oh right, yeah, they're always around Malia and Chris's birthdays, but there's always some nice days in February too. And honestly, we got snow this week, but next week's gonna be nice. Didn't we
have a day a couple weeks ago that was like 70 almost?
Yeah,
I cleaned off my back porch. It was awesome.
So I had you know how you have those memories pop up on Facebook. So yesterday's memory was, I'm loving this day. What a surprise. I get to put my top down on my convertible today. That's what I wrote 10 years ago. Yesterday. 10 years ago yesterday, I was driving around with the top down on my convertible.
You just never know.
Yeah.
It's so funny because, when you talk about like the Midwestern, it's like, those funny things. I put on my coat this morning and then I had my shorts on by 2 and, we just changed.
All 4 seasons in one day. It can happen. It can happen. That is for sure. Happen,
which I like the different seasons.
I do too. I talk a lot about how much I love winter or whatever, but I really do appreciate each season. It's just the dog days of summer where the humidity's screaming. That's my least favorite. But I mean, I can appreciate every season. I'm thankful for them. I mean, I admire people that live in climates where it's just solid all year round. But I think my soul would get tired of that. I feel like I need the change.
I like it too. Well, I like fall.
I do too. Fall. A beautiful fall.
Oh my gosh! And I feel like our last few falls have been spectacular.
Yeah, they really have.
Yeah, there's just I mine all the time. I've always said if I could do it one way, I'd have 7 months of October and 5 months of July. That would be my 2 top picks because I get my pool time and be hot. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's how I do it. But boy, you just can't beat fall. It's gorgeous. I love everything about it.
I do too.
All the fun because you don't really have any like spring. It's always fall festivals.
Well, right. Spring can be just so wet.
Spring is my least. I'm looking forward to it because I know that summer's coming. But spring is my least favorite.
And you and I can go buy flowers.
And we go buy flowers.
We do like to do that.
I love my flowers. I love to. I'm getting antsy because right now on Facebook, everything's like popping up all these different. I've already got it in my plan. Oh, I make a list of what I need to plant here and there. And no, I love flowers. I like them. They're around my whole entire house. I like flowers. One thing we did the other day is we tore down that house on the corner.
Oh, did it come down?
It did come down. It came down and now it's there in a heaping pile. I don't know. Okay. Jim's probably going to get his tractor. We had Andy's roll-off spring in that, but it was kind of funny because we had Jack and Joanna in the car. We watched it.
Oh, okay.
So we're over there, and Doug Lindsay came, and they wrapped this big metal rod around it. And
okay.
Then they tied it, and
I've never seen how they've done that before.
But the inside was pretty. David Wendell came and took a lot of stuff out of the inside, which was a huge blessing. He's working on something, so thank you, Dave, for doing that. That was awesome because then it was just like the hollow shell. And Jack and Joanne and I were watching. Of course, I'm like, oh, it's good. You can hear it kind of pop and crackle. And Headley stopped by. He was like, what are you guys doing? He's like, I'm going to go get my winch. It's like these man things. This man thing, so he helped too. But Jim's out there, and of course, Joey's like, she thinks I'm like, it's not happening yet. Because like when Doug would tighten that winch up or whatever,
it would make
you can hear it crack or whatever. I got a video of it. You can hear it crack. But the sound on my didn't show up on the video. Stupid updates. Anyway, so they started doing it, and Jim was over there. And I'm like, I said, Jim, good Lord, because like he's over there propping, rigging something
like, don't get hurt is what you were thinking.
I said, Jim, don't get hurt. And so my granddaughter, they call him Papa, said, oh, Jim, don't get hurt. Oh, Jim, don't get hurt. Jim. She started going, Jim, get back. Oh, Jim, she'd say. I said, Joey, you don't know how often I say, oh, Jim. There's also other thing I say before I say Jim's name.
Yeah, I've heard that one before, too. We won't say it on air.
We won't say it on air, but yeah. But it was kind of neat. It didn't take much, but it like that crackling sound. Then it just came down, and Hadley pushed it in, and so now we just gotta
clean up the mess.
Clean up the mess. But
plant some grass.
Yep, clean up some mess. Fill in the hole.
Yep.
Knock out some. It's got a basement, so apparently you have to. Knock stuff. I don't know. Knock it in there. Fill it up, whatever.
Fill it in.
Fill it up. I think you have to do like pea gravel first, and then put your pea gravel in, because that's what we did with the house on the other side or both of them, because this is the fourth house we've tore down.
Oh my!
Yeah, this is the fourth one we've
You're
tore down.
You're professional house tear downers.
We pretty much are, but the funny thing about it is, I think last time Jim just always did it all himself, and he's a scavenger. But yeah, so this is the fourth house we've tore down, because it's the sixth house I bought on my block.
Okay.
3 more, and I own the entire block.
Okay.
But anyway, but I'm gonna because one of my renters is Brenda Bradham. She can stay. And Marsha Mason.
Donna Mason.
Donna Mason's on the corner, so she can stay. They're good neighbors.
They're good neighbors. Yeah, I'd let them stay.
There's one that's a bit iffy that.
Yeah.
But it's a rental. But anyway, but yeah, so what you do is like you fill it all. You put pea gravel in first, because you do want. From what I understand, you want some of the debris from the house in there, because you don't want to just because you want that, and then you want that pea gravel to kind of like fill in. Then you put the dirt over there, then that dirt settles on that pea gravel and all that. I don't know. There's a whole thing to
There's
it.
a system.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is it's down and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because it needed to come
It was
down.
an eyesore.
It was an eyesore.
Stacey and I love old houses. We talk about preserving them, but there are some houses that are not really historical and not preservable that need to go.
Well, this one was full of it. The basement leaked, and it was full of black mold.
Yeah.
We walked right inside that house. Was like, okay, out, tear it down. Let's go. Because I bought it sight unseen. That's how I do the houses around me. I've been looking at them for 35 years.
Yeah.
Just haven't been inside. Yeah.
Okay, do we have an ad to start off this show?
An
ad from the past.
It's an interesting ad.
Okay.
But it's more like a Thanksgiving ad. But I did it because I love these banquets. Do you remember these?
Yes.
I loved
these too. My mom used to keep these
chicken pot pies.
Yeah, this one was my favorite here. The meat with that gravy. Oh my gosh, those were good. My mom would that turkey dinner. Yep.
Yes,
Mom would
was
keep those in the freezer. And
can you still get them today? You can't.
I think so. They're probably full of preservatives.
I was going to say RFK Jr.'s probably.
Yeah, he's probably getting ready to take them away. But back in the day, they were really truly
I loved them.
Pretty solid food.
Thank goodness for banquet frozen food. Ye Indians are hungry tonight. Be a friendly pilgrim and serve your little tribe a real turkey dinner. Besides tender slices of succulent turkey, there's old-fashioned dressing, fresh-tasting peas, and mashed potatoes. Expensive? Indeed, no. Just taste expensive. It just tastes expensive.
Well, she's adorable.
Isn't she adorable?
Is she somebody famous? She kind of looks familiar.
I don't know. It doesn't say. But on the little side, it's like banquet. There's beef dinner, fried chicken dinner, and the ham. The fried chicken in that thing's good. I never had the beef or that. We had the fried chicken, but my mom always got that turkey. I saw that, and I'm like, yum.
Yeah.
Of course, dressing's one of my all-time favorite foods.
Oh, yeah, mine too. Oh,
if I was on death row and I was getting my last meal.
And they're like, you have one meal, Stacey. What will it be? You would say
steak, ribeye steak, baked potato, and the biggest pile of dressing, homemade dressing you've
I'm
ever
right there with
seen.
you, sister.
That's
I think
exactly
that's what I
do.
would get too. I would want a big steak, I'd want a baked potato, and I'd want some stuffing and probably macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, and maybe a big old chocolate pie.
Yeah, or coconut. You don't like coconut, but I would probably go coconut.
Jim would get coconut cream. I asked Jim that question the other day. If you were on death row, what? We just have the weirdest conversation. I asked Jim the other day. Oh my gosh! If you were on death row, what would be your last meal? Because I was watching some sort. I was the Menendez brothers. You know, I'm like, if you were on death row, what would be your last meal? He's like, who would want to eat? You're getting ready to die. Stomach be all messed up. I'm like, you're just no fun to play that game.
No, that's such a Jim thing to say.
Nothing.
So practical.
We'll be able to eat right there. Yeah, I'm like, not me. I have my.
I already have mine picked. I haven't planned my crime yet, but I do have my meal picked out. You know, and that's how we roll. We don't know what we're doing, but we have our next meals planned.
Yeah, you got to be prepared.
Got to be prepared.
All right. Okay, we're a little bit. We're a little out of time. I don't know what's happening.
Okay,
but anyway.
we got to take a commercial break, and we will be right back.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and I've got a very interesting
story for today.
This is from a man from Iola, and his name is Andy Smith. Okay, he was in the military, and this man was bad
to the bone. I don't know if the word she used off air. I don't know if we can use it on air.
We probably can't say that.
Bad with an A.
Oh, this dude, this guy, he was really something. First off, before I start this, okay, so have you ever heard of the Alamo Scouts?
Yes.
Okay, I had not till this.
They're in a movie.
Yes,
there's a movie about them.
And that's him.
Are you kidding me?
No, this man was part of the Alamo Scouts.
Oh my gosh.
Let me give you a look. For those of you that don't know what the Alamo Scouts are. This is crazy. Goodfellow Air Force Base, Texas. Before the Navy SEALs, they came before the Green Berets, they came before all special forces. So the Alamo Scouts were literally the very first special forces in the United States.
I can't wait to hear this.
So it's great.
Just side note. So Stacey researched this story on her own. I did the other episode, so I don't know what she's gonna.
Yeah, we've kind of been doing that. And I kind of like that.
It kind of worked out well for both of us. We get a little bit more in depth in the stories. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So anyway, before all the Navy SEALs, Green Beret, Special Forces, there were the Alamo Scouts, the executors of the do or die mission. These men completed top secret, I can't ever say that. Reconnaissance missions in the Japanese-controlled Philippines during World War II.
Okay.
The Alamo Scouts, formerly known as the U.S. 6th Army Special Reconnaissance Unit, were an elite fighting force in World War II. Their mission, to go behind enemy lines.
Wow.
Okay. Then let me see. Here's a little bit of the legacy on the Alamo Scouts. And this is just talking about one in 1988 because then it goes back to the original Scouts
Okay.
that this man was in. In 1988, the soldiers of the Alamo Scouts were awarded the Special Forces tab in recognition for their services in World War II, including them in the lineage of the current United States Army Special Forces. The raid at Cabinaton, carried out by the combined team of Alamo Scouts, Rangers, and Filipino guerrillas, has been depicted in the feature films. It's been more than one film, too.
I think so.
Edward Dmytry's 1945 film Back to Baton opens by retelling the story of the raid on the Cabinaton POW camp, including real-life film of the POW survivors.
Oh, gosh. See, that gives me chills. I don't
it's
think I
crazy.
can watch it.
And then in 2005, John Dahl filmed The Great Raid, which is the film that's based. I mean, all these films are about this elite group force of the man Andy Smith from Iola that I'm going to talk about, but several people just did different ones. But this film, and The Great Raid, was based on the book The Great Raid of the Cabinaton, and Ghost Soldiers focused on the raid. The 1950, the Philippine Army named their Special Forces unit the Scout Ranger Regiment in honor of the Alamo Scouts and the U.S. Army Rangers. Okay, so that's who I'm going to talk about today.
Okay.
Clay County man among those credited for his involvement in the Great Raid.
Wow.
Okay, the late Andy Smith was among the men of the Alamo Scouts, 6th U.S. Army, who liberated over 500 prisoners of wars
Oh, my
from
gosh.
the infamous Cabinaton camp during World War II. The mission is the subject of a new major motion picture. Now, the major motion picture is called The Great Raid. Okay, and that's about the story of these guys.
And that came out in what year is this paper?
Well, Bill Oliver wrote this in
2000s?
2005. Yeah.
Okay, so the movie probably
the
came
movie
out sometime
then.
around 2005.
But we're talking World War II, and this Andy Smith, literally from everything that I've read, and I'm going to read it because Bill's words are a lot grander than mine. But this guy, Andy Smith, when they went into that prisoner of war camp, inside this camp, was the first man inside the building. He was tough. This man was tough. I would call him the Rambo of Clay County.
Oh, my gosh.
To be perfectly honest, this man was tough.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a great.
Does it talk about who his descendants are,
Yep.
or his family? Okay,
Yep.
so we may know some of them.
Yep, and I've
Okay.
just got to get my pictures right.
I'll
Let me show you.
get some
Ty,
dates on him.
let me look at my pictures, and I'll tell you which one I want first. Okay, let's do the younger picture of this gentleman, the one that says Andy Smith above it.
If you're looking for a
Well, commercial. Hit the wrong button there. This is who we're talking about. This is Andy Smith.
Okay. Man, he does look like a one
telling ya.
tough son of a gun. I mean,
I'm telling you, he's the Rambo of Clay County.
if you were going to like pick a soldier like G.I. Joe, like he looks like G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Was
crazy.
G.I. Joe modeled after Andy Smith? Is
gonna
my
say
question.
I believe it was.
Oh my gosh.
Because when I read this, it's this story. I just love the entire story.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna just read Bill's words here. Are you looking up something fun?
I was going to look up the dates on him just to have them like.
Yeah. He. It's just. I'll read and you do that.
Okay.
Okay. So, a film called The Great Raid is a movie to be released in theaters nationwide August 12th. This was August 12th of 2005. So we all need to go out there and find this movie anyway. It accounts the amazing true story of how the United States 6 Rangers and Alamo Scouts, with the help of Filipino guerrillas and civilians, liberated 516 Allied prisoners of war from the infamous Japanese Cabinaton prisoner of war camp at Barrier Pangasian in Nuevo, I don't know how to say that, Providence, Luzon, on the night of January 31st, 1945.
Oh my.
That's what we're talking about. The Great Raid is a motion picture that all Clay Countyans should make a note to see because one of our own was involved in the history-making event. The late Andy Irwin Smith of Iola was a member of the Alamo Scouts and is among the men credited with undertaking the daring rescue mission against all odds.
Wow.
I get chills when I read this man's story. And there is a book. I'm going to go to the library. He's got a signed book at our library.
Is Irwin start with an E?
Let me look. Erwin.
Okay.
Andy Irwin Smith.
I bet he's buried somewhere big, isn't he?
I think he's at Arlington.
Okay.
Yeah, they talk about Arlington here.
Okay.
The mission is depicted in several books, including Silent Warriors of World War II by Lance Zedrick and Raid on Cabinaton by Forrest Bryant Johnson. Both are available at the Flora Public Library. Here's what we're going to do. You guys need to go get this book because, Bill's writes a beautiful article, but it's nothing probably compared. I would assume it's going to go into great detail how these men went in there and
I want to read
their
it.
business.
I hope
do
I can
too.
read it. I hope it doesn't break my heart.
Yeah. The raid on Cabinaton was presented to the library by Smith, who wrote the following message in front of the book. Okay, so this book, he's actually, Andy Smith has actually written in the front of the book that you can check out. To all readers, I hope you enjoy this book. I am proud to have the distinction of being a member of the Alamo Scouts and an opportunity to perform these duties behind enemy lines in the Pacific theater of the operation during World War II. Apparently, Harley Bonham and Andy Smith were friends. So Harley Bonham probably got a lot. They actually they knew each other, and so I think Harley Bonham was also kind of like instrumental in helping with the writing of the Ghost Soldier book. Mm-hmm. Japanese crimes against war prisoners, and it says Bonham was in Provost's section during the war crimes trials in the Philippines. So there was actually war crimes and stuff. I can't even imagine what prisoners of war go through.
Me either.
Harley writes, I know what went on. I spent a lot of time talking to Andy Smith. He was truly a war hero from Clay County, and I urge everyone to see the new movie, The Great Raid. The Alamo Scouts were organized on Ferguson Island in New Guinea on November 28th, 1943. So once again, the Alamo Scouts are like the beginning of all the bad to the bone military services.
Special forces.
Special forces we have. To conduct, what's that word?
Recognizance.
Recognizance. That's a weird word.
It is a weird
I'm going to
word.
just call it recon because that's what Sylvester calls it
Okay.
in Rambo.
Okay, he
Recon.
probably couldn't say it either.
He probably could. Recon and raider work in the Southwest Pacific Theater under the personal command of then Lieutenant General Walker Kruger, commander of the General 6th U.S. Army. From their first mission in the Admiralty Islands in February of 1944 to the end of World War II, the Alamo Scouts performed 106 known missions behind enemy lines in New Guinea and the Philippines without losing a single man killed or captured. So this group of people, 106 times behind enemy lines. Have you ever seen that movie, Behind
No.
Enemy Lines?
Yes.
I love war movies. They break my heart sometimes.
Yeah, some of them I can't watch, and some of them I haven't seen the whole thing because it gets too much, and then I walk away. But yeah.
Yeah, it's the Alamo Scouts were unceremoniously disbanded at Kyoto, Japan in November of 1945, never to be reunited again.
What?
The Alamo Scouts had the finest record of any elite unit of World War II and one of the finest in the history of the United States military. Why would you? Well, do you think maybe they disband those because then everybody? So they got your Army Rangers and your
Well, the
Green
war
Berets.
was over.
The war was over.
and they were like, thanks, but I don't think we need you anymore. So,
They just did 106 missions behind enemy lines, but yeah.
yeah.
In 1988, the Alamo Scouts were individually awarded the Special Forces Shoulder Tap for their services in World War II and were included in the lineage of today's U.S. Army Special Forces.
I think this could be a 1 hour TV show each week. Like they had 106 different missions.
Yeah, we could do
like
every mission.
Each mission should be its own TV, part of a series.
Hey, Ty, I want to show the picture of the group of men. The picture of the group of men. Or is that? Not that one. That's the prisoner of war. We'll talk about them. Those are the men that. Look at this. Here we go. This is some of the members of this special force. Members of the Alamo Scouts. Oh, this is all the Alamo Scouts. There were 5 of them. This is the only members of the Alamo Scouts at the very beginning of Alamo Scouts for World War II.
Okay, wait. There was only 5 members total ever?
This is for the one that did the 106 missions.
Yeah.
But they also went in with the Filipino guerrillas.
Oh, right, the Filipino guerrillas. So they joined with other groups.
They joined with other groups.
This is our only 5.
This is our only, yeah.
Wow, very elite.
Members of the Alamo Scouts. Look, okay, you want to know who's where? Guess which one is our man? Back
G.I. Joe in the back row.
To the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. PFC Andy Smith of Iola is the far right in the back row. Yeah, look at him with his hands on his hip.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Murtaugh. They were tough and they knew
Murtaugh, I'm coming after you. I'm telling you, he's not as big as Sylvester.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The 3 on the left don't look quite as threatening, but Andy and then the guy in the front in the light colored uniform.
Yeah.
He also looks like a total
I would love to know who that is.
Like, yeah, they were
amazing.
They're not going to be ones you want to mess around with.
No. We're going to take a commercial break, and I'm going to come back and talk a little bit more about this story because I find it fascinating.
Be right back.
Be right back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County, Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and I'm talking about the late Andy Smith, who was one of the original Alamo Scouts members who I am vastly falling in love with because he is like, I'm going to call him the Rambo of Clay County. We could literally do that. Mm-hmm. He's amazing.
We could.
Andy Smith died at the age of 79 on January 18th, 2000. At Lindcrest Manor in Effingham, leaving his mark on society. He was buried with full military rights at Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. He was born on April 28, 1920, the youngest of 7 sons of Noah and Minnie Lewis. Minnie Lewis Smith of Iola, where he spent his childhood and attended school in Iola and Louisville. Let's show that picture of him. I want to show the picture of him when he's a little bit older. Here he is. This is his obituary.
Aww.
Look at him.
Wow.
Hello, Mr. Bad to the Bone.
Yeah.
I guess we could say he had what?
Grit.
Grit
and gumption. He sure did.
He's amazing.
Brave soul.
Andy Smith joined the U.S. Army during World War II in 1940. And during that time, he volunteered to join a special unit called the Alamo Scouts. I didn't know much about the unit when I joined, he once said, except that the special training lasted 6 weeks, and it was done while performing missions behind enemy lines. So did you hear what I just said?
They trained him while he was already behind enemy lines. What about just throwing you into the lion's den and being like, okay, now do this. You should probably do this. Like,
And none of them
But-
died. None
No.
of them died and were captured.
but here's what I think about men like that. They only chose 5 to do it. I mean, he volunteered to do it, but I'm sure they didn't take everybody that volunteered.
Right.
But men like that just have a innate sense of what to do. It's almost like second nature, the common sense, the calculating distances and just the physics of like probably getting into buildings and looking at something and having that military planning mind. Some people just have natural gifts, and apparently they picked people that were naturally gifted at the skills they needed to be behind enemy lines, because the fact that they all went behind enemy lines 106 times during World War II and were none of them killed or caught is just amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. The requirements, each member, get this, each member had to have an IQ of 120 or higher.
Okay, the average IQ now is like 89, I think.
Really? Is it?
So I saw
does
that
it
on
drop?
Facebook.
I mean, what?
I think people are dumber than they used to be. Is that
Oh,
what
I
you're
did-
asking me? Yes.
I definitely believe that.
Okay.
It has to be 120 or higher, be a combat veteran, and be an expert with at least one infantry weapon.
Okay.
Get this. This is interesting too.
What was his weapon? That he was
I'm
expert
going to
in?
show you in a second.
Okay.
If a single mistake was made during training, you're out.
Yep. No mistakes.
Boy, today, I'll tell you what, you'd lawyer up and fight today and whine to your mom.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? This World War II generation, nobody will ever touch.
The greatest generation.
The greatest generation.
That's what they're called.
You'll never convince me otherwise.
No.
No.
They're tough.
No. The Alamo Scouts performed many daring missions behind enemy lines. The most famous was the raid on Cabanatuan prisoner of war camp in the Philippines. The Cabanatuan prison break and a later mission on the island of Mindanao earned Andy Smith a Purple Heart and an award of valor from the Norwegian government.
Wow.
Let's show a picture of that. Let's just see what this is. Just the prison camp, the Cabanatuan prison hut constructed of bamboo and nipa, whatever. This is just one of the many buildings. I googled pictures of it now. And it was an aerial view of it. That's like that's one of the huts. There were like 50 of those just in
And
this
that was where
area.
the prisoners of war were.
And that's where the prisoners of war were. See, they basically
walls.
slept on the ground. There's no
Yeah.
walls. No,
That's
that's where
sad.
they stayed. That's just kind of give you an idea of the prisoner of war camp. During Smith's funeral services at Red Brush Christian Church, his nephew, Brother Lyle Smith, was one of the speakers, and he had told about an incident that happened after the war in 1945 when Lyle was a young man living with his family in North City. He recalled that his father, Coben Smith, who was Andy Smith's older brother, told him that he had a conversation with a man on the street in North City during a VE Day celebration. So, this is Andy Smith's brother in North City, Veterans Day celebration, random stranger.
Okay.
It's a small world, isn't it?
It is. Tell me it was one of the 5.
Huh?
Was it one of the other 5?
I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to wait and see.
The suspense.
When the man found, it's actually not. It's even better.
Oh, okay.
When the man found out Coben's last name was Smith, the man said, "I knew a man named Smith that I will never forget." The man said that the Smith he knew was the first man through the gate at Cabanatuan, where he was a prisoner of war.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry.
Yeah. His name was Andy Smith. Coben told the man that Andy Smith was his brother. How?
That is so cool. He saved that man's life.
Yeah. He said, "I know a guy named Smith." The last
Well,
name
right, there's
Smith.
only 50 million, because I couldn't hardly find him on Find a Grave because there's
too many
so many
Smiths.
Andy Smiths. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And so literally, hey, oh yeah, what's your last? Oh yeah, Smith.
I knew a Smith, great
I know
guy.
Smith, great
Andy
guy.
Smith.
Saved me from a prisoner of war camp. Oh, that's my brother.
Wow.
I can't even with this story.
So then what?
This is literally my favorite. I may have to frame this story. This is one
Yeah.
of my favorite stories. Andy Smith married Esther Howell on December 30th, 1956. The couple had 2 sons, so he was not married and didn't have children when he was doing all this craziness. The couple had 2 sons, Lyndon and Kelvin, and 1 stepdaughter, Jerry Grishkowski. He also had a brother, Dean Smith of Flora. Army life was not his only career. Andy Smith also played professional baseball.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Okay.
He played professional baseball and was associated with the Chicago White Sox, the Cleveland Indians, and the St. Louis Browns between 1946 and 1950.
Okay, because I was beginning to ask. Okay, so he came home from the war. The war ended. He probably came home around 46.
Yep.
And then he didn't get married till 56.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what did he do with his time? Because most soldiers came home and they immediately found a wife or married their sweetheart from before the war.
Nope.
Not this guy. He waited 10 years. What did he do? He went and played
he played
professional baseball. Because why not? He is apparently incredibly talented at whatever he decides to do.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a guy.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I'm in love with this man. He's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And from during the later part of his baseball career, he managed the Browns farm team. I don't even know what that is. What's the Browns farm team?
Their B team, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. You're not that great, so we're going to do this. Who knows? Master Sergeant Smith was the last of the elite Alamo Scouts to leave active service. Of course he was.
G.I. Joe, I'm telling you. Is
I'm
there
telling
anything?
you.
Are you getting ready to talk about Mattel adopting his image for a doll in the 80s that my brother had?
I don't know.
Okay.
Get this. He returned for a tour of duty during the Korean War and again during the Vietnam War, where
course.
he worked as a case officer with Army Intelligence.
Yep.
He later taught at a number of the Department of Defense schools.
He should. They need men like that to teach the others how it's done.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Holy moly, this guy's incredible.
He is absolutely incredible. But before we go on, let's go back to that one picture, Ty, that you had of the prisoners of war. Yeah,
Wow.
this says one of the first photos of liberated prisoners of wars from the Cabanatuan camp.
And somewhere in that photo is probably that man
Probably
from
that
North
man.
City.
Yeah.
North City, yeah. Wow.
So Andy Smith is now teaching. He's teaching the States Army Intelligence Center and School at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, before he retired in May of 1995.
And
Yeah.
he died in 2000, so he was 5
Yeah.
years before he was still teaching.
Yeah, the man never retired. Lance Zedrick, author of Silent Warriors of World War II, also spoke at Smith's funeral. The two men became close friends while Zedrick was doing research for his novel about the Alamo Scouts. Zedrick delivered the eulogy for Andy Smith, which told the story of the man that the Master Sergeant really was.
Wow.
We're going to take a commercial break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to read this eulogy because it was a writer that wrote it. It's pretty cool. We'll be right back.
Wow.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Give me all your lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas,
What?
you
better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and I'm going to go ahead and just read this eulogy right from the paper. This is a eulogy that Lance Zedrick, the author of The Silent Warriors of World War II, he actually spoke at Andy Smith's funeral here in Louisville, and he did the eulogy on it, and it's just beautiful, so I'm just going to read it. Eulogy for Andy Smith, January 21st, 2000. 5 years ago in San Francisco, Andy Smith asked me if I would deliver his eulogy. I told them that I had never done anything like that before. See, because the thing about it, he's asking this man because he actually died of cancer. And the funniest thing about the cancer is when they gave Andy Smith the diagnosis of his cancer, they're like, you probably have a few months to live. Watch me. He made it for like 6 years.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. I told him that I had never done anything like that before, and I asked him what I had to do. He chuckled and said, "It's no big deal. Just get up and tell a few lies about me." It was vintage Andy. But contrary to his wishes, I'm not telling any lies about him today. In fact, I'm not even going to exaggerate. Well, given Andy's love of a good story, maybe a little, I owe him that much. So, Andy, here we are gathering together upon your death with the common purpose of celebrating your life. And oh, what a life it was. A life not only of quantity, but of quality. One of bitter tragedy and sweet triumph, of hard work and idle play, of uneasy peace and horrific war. You saw it all and did it all, my friend. And like so many, yours was not a life half lived, not a life of regrets, what could have beens, and if I had onlys. It was a life to be proud of, a full productive life, passionate existence that overflowed with friendship and memories. Yours truly was a full cup for that. We envy you, for we should all be so lucky. I want you to write my eulogy, and I want it to be this good too.
Okay, I'll try.
Andy Smith was a lot of things to Esther, a loving husband, to Kel and Lyndon, Jody, their children, a doting father and grandfather. To many, a loyal friend and confidant. To others, a hero. It is true, Andy was many things, a man of many facets. A family man, a professional baseball player, a horse lover, a soldier. But there was one thing about Andy was not, and that was a quitter. He did everything 100% and clung to life with both hands. He lived hard, worked hard, loved hard, laughed hard, but yet he made it all seem easy. This past summer, Andy told me that when he was first diagnosed with cancer, the doctors gave him 6 months to live. He proved them all wrong. He took 6 years. According to Andy, it was a testament to his stubbornness. He often joked, this is cute, he often joked that he was too mean to die and that God didn't want him and the devil was afraid of him. Again, vintage Andy. From the moment I met Andy Smith, he reminded me of a combination of Dennis the Menace, Will Rogers, and my grandpa. Like the mischievous but affable teenager, Andy always had a twinkle in his eye and an off-color joke on the tip of his tongue. Like Will Rogers, he had a keen, effacing wit and a story for every occasion. He never seemed to meet a man he didn't like, or that didn't like him. And like my grandpa, he was a kind, gentle man who freely gave of his time and never let me get away without offering me something to eat or drink. That is the highest compliment I can pay. Andy Smith was one of life's unforgettable characters, and I am richer for having known him. But in a large sense, Andy belonged to us all, not to just those who knew him. For he was an anonymous soldier who trudged off to war, did amazing things, and returned home to carry on. He was the quiet professional and unsung hero, a national treasure of the highest order, a man of honor, duty, and principle, a man who served his country in 3 wars, an American by every imaginable definition.
Absolutely.
Andy's stellar military career spanned 4 decades, totaling 26 years of armed service to his nation, including duty in World War II with the elite Alamo Scouts. A forerunner of the Green Berets in typical Andy fashion. He maintained his association with the Scouts until his death and was one of the unit's central and most cherished figures. He was and always will be an Alamo Scout. All told, Andy spent 6 years serving his nation on foreign soil, including tours in New Guinea, the Philippines, Korea, Germany, Vietnam, and numerous posts throughout the United States, where he served with distinction as an instructor for the U.S. Army Intelligence School. To hear Andy talk about his career, he was just a simple farm boy who didn't know much, couldn't do much, and just slipped by on dumb luck. Well, we all know better. Andy's Combat Decoration Service Medal, letters of commendation, and scores of military diplomas would fill a wall. But Andy rarely spoke of his individual accomplishments. To him, anything he earned as part of a team, a group of uncommon men united in common purpose. But this gathering is not about nor for other men. It is about Andy and his singular contribution to the collective American experience. As long as we hold him in our memory, his service should not and will not be forgotten. Let this, his final roll call, serve as a partial testament to the man he was and what he stood for. On behalf of a grateful nation, I offer one last attention to orders. From the hayfields of his childhood to the ball fields and battlefields of his youth, to the hayfields revisited, Andy Smith came full circle. So who was Andy Smith? A family man? Friend? Alamo Scout? Hero? It is beyond us to say for sure, for he was many things and he was truly unique. But I believe William Shakespeare might have put it best in Julius Caesar when he wrote, his life was gentle and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
Oh.
If not, it is not known if Andy Smith is individually depicted in the movie The Great Raid, but those who see the movie will get a better understanding of the kind of man that Andy Smith was. A hero raised on the soil right here in Clay County.
Wow.
Bravo, Andy Smith.
Bravo. What a guy.
What a guy. What a man. What a
What
legend.
an awesome story.
There needs to be something in Iola about this man.
I know. I wonder if they have anything.
I
They
don't
need 'em.
know, but he is remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely spectacular. I will never get rid of this.
Yes.
This is going to be a hometown journal I'm going to keep forever.
You should.
And I'm going to go on Amazon and see if I can buy that book.
Mhm. What was the year on that?
The book?
No, the date on the paper. 2003?
Yeah, August
or
1st, 2005.
2005. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to get it's got the movie's The Great Raid. And it literally says at the top of it, the most daring rescue mission of our time is a story that has never been told.
Wow. Well, there you go. If you guys haven't seen the movie or read the book, the Flora Library has the book. And, that movie's been out for a while. You can probably stream it on Netflix or one of your other movie channels.
Probably buy it on
Amazon Prime. Check those.
Yeah.
And know the story behind it. So I think there'll be a lot of people from Clay County now that want to look into that.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
He was a true hero. I mean, I can't even fathom that. Then just to be like, oh, dumb luck. That man.
That's humble. That's what that
humble.
is. He's humble.
And the fact that, you're the first one through the door, that's why I'm like calling him the Rambo of Clay County. And then to be like, this character is rarely seen anymore. Mm-hmm. It really is. I truly believe that. So many people are about, because I guarantee you today, if Andy Smith lived today, he wouldn't be on Facebook.
Yeah.
We should all take note from his story.
Absolutely.
Guys, can you imagine him being your dad?
No.
Talk about boots, but he probably never even, he never really talked. I have a Jerry Hemphill, my cousin. He was in Vietnam, and Jerry was a Marine. And, the movie Hamburger Hill, He was in that. He was right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he never talked about it. He wouldn't talk
Many
about
of them don't.
because like 92% of his platoon was completely wiped out.
Yeah.
he didn't talk about Vietnam
Yeah.
much. You'd never
Yeah.
known it. But like I said, they're just amazing.
Both of my grandpas were in World War II, but one of them was at Pearl Harbor, and I didn't even know that until after he had died.
Really?
Because he never talked about it. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah, my dad was in the Korean War. He never talked about it. My mother's uncle, Bob Anderson, actually got the Purple Heart. He stormed the beaches of Normandy.
Wow.
He was on the beaches of Normandy and was shot. He had a plate in his head. He was shot. He was my great uncle, Bob Anderson from Clay City. He was married to my grandpa's sister, Hazel. And he got shot. He had his metal plate in there, and actually he would like I don't know what happened, but anyway, there's people like dead on top of him. That's how he was shot, and then he just he was shot and was dead, and then the war. He was at the beaches of Normandy. So
Wow.
it's just crazy. You just don't find. It's hard to find people like that. I'm sure they're out there. We just don't hear much about them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a story.
Hopefully, the military will get back to this, and I feel like it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
we need a strong military.
We need a strong military.
men.
I am all
Strong women too.
I am all about
Mm-hmm.
a military. But I love the military. So
Me too.
mad respect.
Mad respect.
Mad respect.
Uber.
Who else do I have mad respect? Well, Jack Candy, you fell down the totem pole.
Jack Handy, I don't know that I can say that there's a lot of respect there, but it does make me roll my eyes and think, what is this guy doing or thinking?
Yeah.
He's crazy. So let's see what he says
is.
today.
I'm running out of it.
Okay.
Let's see. Because the last time I started reading it, I was like, I got to the end. I'm like, can't finish that one because I don't like to read them beforehand because I want to be
some
surprised.
of them are maybe not appropriate.
Okay, I don't see any bad words. Okay. If you want to be the popular one at a party, here's a good thing to do. Go up to some people who are talking and laughing and say, well, technically that's illegal. It might fit in with what somebody just said. And even if it doesn't, so what? I hate this stupid party.
All righty then. I don't know. We'll try that at the next party. Well, technically,
That's illegal.
That's illegal. What? What's wrong with this person?
That's illegal.
Oh, okay.
Technically.
Oh, gosh.
I am cracking up.
Anyway, what a good show today. Thank you,
That was
Stacey.
fun.
That was great.
That was great.
As always, you can find us on Wabash Channel 100 Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Friday, 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. And we're also on YouTube, so you can find us there.
Yeah.
Just search Beth and Stacey, and we should pop right up.
We will.
And like and follow us on Facebook. And that is it for today.
That's it.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
God bless you and have a great day.